Well, it's finally started to warm up a bit around here, so I decided to pull the saw out today and try and slice some of these agates that I found last summer. Haven't really gotten around to cutting them, so. And I also got a few black agates from a friend down south, so those will be interesting to cut into, and some rhyolite, orbicular rhyolite, some other jasper type stuff. So yeah, some of these should be able to make some pretty cool cabs, I think. There's some pretty cool patterns, and yeah, I'm gonna slice them up today and see what's inside. I think I'm gonna start off with this one because it's the first piece of jasper that I found this year, or last year I mean. And yeah, it's got some nice agate seams going through it. It's really dark in some spots, so I'm really curious what it looks like once it's sliced, if it shows a light through it or anything. But anyhow, there's some nice colors and that kind of stuff, so we'll see what's inside that one. Well, there's what came of that one. Some really nice yellow jasper, kind of mixed with kind of gray and black agate. There's a little bit of red and different colors in there, but yeah, I think those will make some awesome cabs. Just such cool patterns in there. And yeah, the next one I think is going to be this piece of orbicular rhyolite. Try something a little different. There's some really nice big circles in there, so be interesting to see what kind of patterns in there. Well, the first slice of that orbicular rhyolite is looking pretty nice. There's about 4 or 5 or so little circles, but I think as I go deeper there'll be a few more. But it's a kind of cool pattern. Wish I could show this a bit better, but there's lots of marbling going on in between the circles and stuff, and yeah, pretty cool stuff. It's kind of like that bird's eye rhyolite that they have in Mexico, but yeah, it's a little bit more dark red kind of in color, but yeah, should be even cooler as I go. Well, there's that one all sliced up. As I got towards the end, it kind of got a bit lighter, and on the other end it was pretty dark, so got a good variety of colors. There's a little bit of green, some orange, some red, some like tan kind of brown color inside the orbicular bits. So that one kind of turned out pretty cool. And I think I'm gonna try and slice up another agate now. I'm kind of in between this one and this one, but I think this one will be easier to cut since it has lots of quartz in it, so I'll just do that one first. Well, I was wondering why that was so easy to cut. And on the inside, it's got a little quartz pocket. Nice little geode. So I'm curious if I should still slice it. I don't know. I'll see how deep that quartz pocket goes, and if it goes down a little bit deeper, I might take one more slice and then I'll leave it so that I could just polish the face of it and leave this raw texture. It'd be a pretty cool specimen. So yeah, I think that's what I'll do. Just take one more slice off of this and polish it up. Turned out really neat. There's a nice big quartz pocket right here, and then there's a little one right there. And in the back of that one, there's some really nice big crystals. So yeah, that'll make a really cool specimen once it's polished. That slice that I just sliced off also has some pretty nice crystals on the edge of it, and I'll make a pretty cool cab if it's solid enough to cab anyways. But yeah, it's a pretty cool little piece anyway. I think I'm gonna move on to some of these black agates that a friend of mine gave to me. Should be some pretty cool patterns inside, and I'm curious what it looks like once it's sliced thin enough that you could get light through it. And there's some of these that are still whole, so there might be some really nice banding in these ones. But yeah, let's start with this little geode. That would be kind of cool. Well, the thing about these agates is they've been through a forest fire, so they're all kind of fractured up on the inside. But I think I might be able to get a few pieces to cab out of these. Like this piece will be a pretty cool cab. It has like these little floating orbs inside of it, which I've never seen in an agate. But that's one of the most solid pieces, and this piece is probably solid enough to make a cab out of. But I think the rest I'll probably just break up and try and tumble, just because it's too fractured up to really make a cab out of. And yeah, it's still really cool material, but just a little bit too cracked up for cabs. So yeah, I'm gonna try and slice up the rest of those and see if I could get any more good cabbing material out of it. And the rest will just go in the tumbler and make some really cool tumbled rocks. Well, there's all those ones that my friend gave me. Some of them had some nice breccia, some nice fortifications, and some of them, just from all the heat, almost have this felted pattern on the inside because there's so many fractures, just one on top of another. So it might be kind of cool polished up. I'm not exactly sure how well it'll polish up, but it'll be fun to experiment with. And yeah, there's some with Nice black banding in there. I'll have to polish that one up so you can see it better, but yeah, there's some with some really nice banding. So yeah, I think these will make some pretty cool cabs, and the rest I'll probably just throw in the tumbler, and yeah, pretty cool. Well, I think the next one I'm going to do is this jasper type stuff that I found last year. I already cut it in half, but I think I'm going to cut this white part off, maybe leave a little bit of the brown in behind it. And then I'm going to cut it in this direction to see what kind of pattern is. And if it's not that great, I'll probably slice it this way, since there's a pretty nice pattern right there that'll make a pretty cool cab. So yeah, we'll see what I could do with that one. So there is a pretty good variety of pattern in that one. Like in the end cut, just underneath the white, it's all brecciated, and the white stuff is actually banded, so it must be like some kind of an agate. But yeah, that'll make a really cool cab or something. Really cool pattern in there. And this one, it's got kind of a spiderwebby kind of, I don't know how to explain it. It's not brecciated, but it's kind of broken up looking inside that tan part. There's a little bit of breccia and stuff kind of mixed in there. It's a little bit fractured up, but I should be able to make a, it's a little bit fractured up, but I should be able to make a few little cabs out of it. This little piece even has a little druzy pocket inside there, which I wasn't expecting. Pretty neat stuff. I've been looking at this big agate here for a while, and there's some really nice banding in this side of it, so I think there might be some really interesting banding going on around these big pits and stuff. So yeah, when I slice that, I think there's going to be some pretty cool stuff going on in there. Well, that one turned out really neat. There's some amazing banding in there, some of the best banding I think I've ever found. And it might even be shadow banding once I polish it, but can't really tell at the moment. But yeah, just amazing banding inside this one. It's got a little druzy pocket in there, and yeah, just crazy banding. So I think I'm just gonna keep on slicing this, keep on going down the rock, and see what else I could get out of it. Yeah, I had a feeling this one was going to turn out really neat. And the banding inside there is just amazing. Like, I don't know if you can see those on camera, but there's just so much fine banding in there. If it was clear enough, it would definitely iris, but this stuff, it's a little bit too milky in there to get the iris effect, but I'm pretty sure there'll be parallax or shadow banding, so yeah, pretty cool. And this big one, I think I'm just going to leave it as a specimen. There's a big pocket in the bottom of it. It's not really crystallized or anything, but it's got some interesting formations and some nice banding up top. And yeah, pretty cool. So I think I'm onto the second last rock. There's a piece of rhyolite and a big kind of reddish sugar agate. So yeah, I might go with the sugar agate first. I'm kind of curious what's inside there. And that rhyolite, it'll be a pretty cool one too. There's all kinds of patterns inside there. So we'll see about that, but yeah, we'll go with the sugar agate first and see what's in there. Well, there's what a sugar agate looks like on the inside, in case anybody was curious. It's kind of marbled looking on the inside. And there's a little bit of moss kind of action going on the bottom of this one, but yeah, it's kind of like a marbled yellow looking agate. I don't know if you would really call it an agate or chalcedony or what, but yeah, it's definitely a form of chalcedony. And you can see it glows pretty nice in the light, but yeah. It's really hard stuff to cut though. It's one of the hardest stones that I've cut on my saw so far. So yeah, it's kind of neat. Like, it makes some cool cabs or whatever. It's got some interesting wavy patterns on the inside. So now we're on to the very last one. It's just a piece of rhyolite with some nice red color and some tan colors in there. It's flow banded, it looks like, and there's a little pocket right there, which is kind of interesting, so there might be little pockets inside. So yeah, really curious about this one. Well, there's that rhyolite all sliced up now. Some really cool pattern going on in there. And there's like an iron stain that's like in a circle right here, which is kind of interesting. I was hoping there'd be a little bit of agate inside, but it doesn't look like it's inside this one. It's just solid rhyolite. But it's still pretty cool. There's some little orbicular bits in there, and yeah. So I think that's going to be it for today. I got a pretty decent amount of sliced up material. I got all these slabs and a whole bunch of agate and rhyolite and all kinds of stuff to cab. So I think I'll be set up for a while. I'm really excited to start working with this black agate though. Something we don't really get around here. So if you like the video, feel free to comment, like, and subscribe. It would really help me out. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.